Benvenuto, welcome to Cherry Hill Home Cooking. My name is Mark. Today we're going to make my version of a deli-style macaroni salad. The nice weather is here, even nicer weather is coming. We're now about a week before Memorial Day, so I thought this would be a good time to show you guys how I make my macaroni salad. This is a basic macaroni salad in terms of when I make this macaroni salad, especially if I'm going to be bringing it to a cookout or a potluck or a picnic or something of that nature, I try to keep it as simple as possible. You can't make everybody happy. For instance, I put peppers in this. Maybe some people don't like peppers, or I put celery in. Sometimes people don't like celery. But more importantly than those few kind of simple ingredients, one of the things I never do if I'm bringing something as a potluck is I don't do a macaroni salad with, say, ham or cheese, because we know several close friends of ours are vegetarian, and we have a couple friends that are also vegan. So that leads me to my second thing of what we're going to do today. We're going to make a vegetarian version, and we're going to make a vegan version. And the only really big difference between the two is going to be the mayonnaise we're going to use. All right, so let's quickly go over the ingredients. For this recipe, I use a pound of pasta. Now, traditionally, of course, macaroni salad, especially from the deli, always seems to come in the elbows. So we're going to use the elbows. You can use any type of pasta that you want. Although, we'll clarify that a little bit, you want to use a pasta that has, a hole in the middle of it. Because, any rigatoni, penne, as a matter of fact, we're going to use penne for our vegan version because you want your dressing to get inside there. All right, and we're going to talk a little bit more about the pasta because I feel the pasta is really important because this is a macaroni salad after all. But we're going to need a pound of pasta. We need some sea salt. If you've got it on hand, as I've told you guys many, many times, I always use sea salt for when I'm cooking pasta or boiling vegetables or anything like that. I always use sea salt. And also, this is optional. I like to put some vegetable bouillon in there. Now, you could use chicken, just like I do when I make my potato salad. But as I said, we're trying to keep this vegetarian and vegan. Of course, this is really easy to use. They come in cubes. Just look at the serving suggestion and, for how many cups of water, how many cubes you need. We'll talk about this for a moment. One of the things I want to talk about the pasta is I've said this many times, you've cooked pasta with me before, you need to follow the package instructions for pasta, okay? This particular one says for a full box of pasta, or 1 pound, you need 5 quarts of water. And you need 5 quarts of water. A pound of macaroni, pasta, spaghetti is not going to cook properly in 4 cups of water. So you need to follow the instructions. Also, it suggests that you add some salt. So we'll go over that again in a little bit. Okay, so let's continue on our ingredients. So we need some nice of our veggies. I've got a yellow bell pepper and a red bell pepper. I happen to think those two combinations look nice in this because we're going to have also some carrot in there, which gives us orange. We've got some green peppers, we've got celery, and we've got the yellow and green bell pepper. Now you're going to need about 1 pepper, about half a cup to a cup, depending on what your preference is. So one kind of smallish yellow bell pepper and a red bell pepper will be good. So then we need some scallions or green onions. Like I said, we need some grated carrots, which we'll do that in a minute, and celery, just in case I didn't go over those. All right, that's going to be, so our pasta and our vegetables. So the next big thing, of course, with a macaroni salad is the dressing. If you don't do a good dressing, then your macaroni salad is not going to be good. So for our vegetarian, we're going to use regular whole mayonnaise. Now, most vegetarians, or I shouldn't say most, I don't know that all that much, but a lot of vegetarians will eat eggs. So, of course, mayonnaise, whole mayonnaise or regular mayonnaise is made with eggs, all right? Then we're going to need some sugar. I just use 1 tablespoon of sugar per box or per salad dressing. You don't have to put in that 1 teaspoon of sugar. I've seen a lot of recipes that put as much as 1/4 of a cup of sugar into 1 pound of pasta. That 1 little tablespoon of sugar just kind of balances it nicely with the, you know, the tanginess of the mayonnaise and, of course, the Dijon mustard. We need salt and pepper. You need some white vinegar. I find that white vinegar works the best in this. It doesn't give you any that additional flavor if you're using apple vinegar or something of that nature. So we've got our mayonnaise. So for our for our vegetarian, we're going to use whole mayonnaise. And today we're going to try for our vegan, we're going to try vegan mayonnaise. Now, we haven't used this yet. I had Wade take a little taste of it. He says it tastes very similar to mayonnaise. It's just a little bit more tangy. All right, so we went over our salt and pepper and again our Dijon mushroom. But now, you guys have seen me use accent before. Accent is MSG. So if anybody out there has a problem with MSG or doesn't want to use it, you could admit this. Now, I know who we're going to be giving this to, and I know nobody has a problem with MSG, so I'm going to use it. If I was bringing it to a big cookout or something, I might not use it. As accent says, wakes up the food flavor. The good thing about using the accent as well is you can cut way down on your salt. Now, if I wasn't going to be using the accent in this, for this recipe, I'm going to use 1 teaspoon of salt. And of course, this will be on the website with the recipe. Plus, in addition to the salt that we're going to use in our pasta water. But this, without the MSG, this would need, you know, 2-3 teaspoons of salt, if not more, or salt to taste, of course. All right, I think we've got it. All right, let me put some of this stuff away, start to prepare, and we'll come back and we'll get cooking our macaroni salad. All right, guys, we'll just kind of go over a little bit again, cutting the vegetables. Everybody knows how to do this. But, so we want, you know, and this, of course, is completely your choice, how bite-sized or sized you want your veggies. You know, I think, you know, nice little dice is good. You know, probably about that big. So you see I had that big fat piece of celery, so I cut it into 3 pieces. Nothing difficult to this. And everyone doesn't have to be exactly perfect. All right, so you're probably going to need about 1 large celery stick. Then we want, of course, I've washed these all off, rinsed them, washed them up nice. Probably, let's see, we've got 1, 2, we've got about 5 scallions here. So we're going to use we're going to use all the whites, of course, except those little root ends. And probably a good percentage of the greens too, up to about where it starts to get dark green. And we'll cut up 1 pepper with you guys. Like I said, you've all seen it, but we'll go through. funny. I save these little end pieces for breakfast the next day or in the next thing that I'm going to make. I put them in a little plastic bag and put them in the refrigerator. All right, we want to take out our core, our pepper, of course. We'll cut it in half. And we want to get all those seeds out and the membrane. As we were kind of picking up, Wade asked me, is there a difference between white wine vinegar and white vinegar? The difference is it's, they're basically going to taste the same. One is made with I would say, since it's saying wine, maybe fermented grapes or something. That's all I had in my cabinet. But if you just have white distilled vinegar in yours, that'll work as well. So then I'm just going to turn it over. And again, this depends upon your preference or your guest's preference or the family, how big they want this. But I would say, again, about the same. So if I can get this same size as our celery. All right. And then we got our shredded carrots. So we got you can use the, stick carrots from the supermarket. I happen to have a couple carrots, so I thought we'd grate them. And you could probably need about one good-sized carrot for a pound. All right, I'm gonna finish cutting up our pepper and we'll be back. Okay, as you can just see, we got our veggies all prepared. All right, in this bowl, I've got my mayonnaise and my Dijon mustard. A little stir. We got 1/3 of a cup of white vinegar. And we got our sugar, salt, pepper, and our accent. You can smell the vinegar right away. Should have gotten a whisk for this, but of course I left the whisk in the drawer. I'll go get one, be right back. We need 2 because we got one for our vegetarian and one for our vegan. Just so we can get that nicely mixed together. Yeah, you can use the white vinegar, definitely kind of get that smell of, but that's going to give it a nice tang. It's going to start to season our veggies. So we just want to whisk that till it's smooth again, and that looks pretty good. All right, so then we got all of our beautiful veggies. I'm going to throw those all in there. Now, I will talk a little bit more about this at the end, but macaroni salad is one of those things that really does need to get cold. It's going to need at least, once we get to the final step, it's going to need at least 4 hours in the refrigerator. Overnight is even better. But we're going to get our veggies all mixed in. So this is our dressing. right, let's get this all nice and marinating together. All right, we're going to put a piece of plastic wrap on top. And we're going to put this in the refrigerator. Now, we're going to continue and do that one, though, the other one as well, even though they're the same thing. But I have my water in the on the stove, boiling. Excuse me. I'm going to turn that back up to high to get it really boiling. Okay, so here we've got our vegan one. And need our vinegar. And again, we got all of our same seasonings. Now the vegan dressed mayonnaise doesn't have quite the volume that the regular does, so we're going to see if we should maybe add a little bit more at the end or what. But that's the first time I've made this, so because that actually incorporated much easier. All right, again, we got our same exact veggie mix. Those all in there. I just noticed a piece of pepper I didn't slice up, but we'll take care of that. Okay, so again, we'll cover this and we'll get this in the refrigerator. Now, like I said, the green bowl is the vegan. I'm going to leave the spoon in there, so make sure I know that's the spatula I used and we don't contaminate it. My plastic wrap doesn't cooperate. All right, so again, we'll cover that one up and I'm going to put it in the fridge. All right, so from this point on, we're going to come right over. I don't have any room. I didn't plan that out very well, did I? All right, guys. I'll put that in the fridge in a moment. But let's get our spaghetti going. So, you see our water is boiling away. Bubbling. Boiling. Yeah. I put my, I have my vegetable bouillon in there, and I'm going to take a nice handful of sea salt. And now the package instructions on this say for 7 minutes for firm, 8 minutes for tender. I'm going to do it I'm going to do it 8 because typically with pasta salad is a little bit not quite as al dente as regular pasta, but we're not going to shock it in cold water, so it is going to continue to cook a little bit as well. So just so I want to say again, look at that. Looks like a water. You're not going to get it because of the steam, but there's a lot of water there to what looks like a small amount of pasta. But you need to have the right amount of water, guys, or else your pasta is not going to cook right, and it's going to get all gooey and sticky. All right, so after you put your pasta in, you want to bring it back to a rolling boil. And then set your timer. Okay, Google, set a timer for 8 minutes.
Sure, 8 minutes.
Okay?
Starting now.
I'm going to let that do its thing. I'm going to get the other dressing in the refrigerator, and then we'll come back and finish up this part of our macaroni salad. See you in a bit. Okay, Google, stop. All right, guys, our pasta has cooked for the required 8 minutes. You can't see it in there, but none of my pasta has stuck to the bottom of my pot. It's all moving freely in the water. Why is that, Wade? Because we used the proper amount of water. Okay, so we're going to take this over to the sink, of course. I've got a colander in there, and we're going to strain it. Now, some people would rush to turn on the faucet and rinse that to cool it. I'm not going to do that, guys, because even there, I don't know if you can see, my pasta is not all sticking together, not all clumpy, not too much starch, because we've used the proper amount of water. All right, so you want to try to get as much water out of your noodles as possible. So for now, we've strained that pretty good. Let me taste it. Tastes delicious. We're going to leave it there for about 4 or 5 minutes. Let's make sure all the water has been drained out. Then we're going to put it in a big bowl. All right, and we're going to put it in a big bowl. We're going to cover it with a little bit of pasta wrap, and we're going to let that come to room temperature. Now, of course, I've already done that all. So, let me put this over here. Oh, that pasta's delicious. All right, now, so our dressing's been marinating for 10, 15 minutes or so. It doesn't really necessarily need to marinate, but we're going to put this one together because this pasta I made earlier in the day. And again, it's sticky, but it is not sticking all together and going to have a clump. Now, that little bit of starch that's on your pasta is going to make your sauce cling to that, or your dressing. And that little bit of vegetable bouillon makes it taste. It just adds that little extra layer of flavor. All right, so we got our, I knew there was a big unsliced pepper in there. Let's taste. Oh my God, that's good. Now, if you tasted that right now, it's really strong. It tastes a little salty, but again, remember, this is gonna go all over your pasta. So, I'm just gonna kind of empty in our dressing over it. Can't get a nice angle to see it go in, but that's all right. You guys get the gist. Get all that deliciousness out of there. All right, and we're just going to start to toss our pasta. And you just want to get all your pasta nicely coated. Now, the penne that I did is very room temperature. I mean, it's actually was in the refrigerator a little bit. I made that early this morning, so we'd be able to go through this all with you. But at this point, your macaroni salad is all put together. Now, could you eat it right now? You could. And yes, it's going to be delicious. And I keep losing pieces of penne on my counter because it wants me to taste it. Oh my God, that's delicious. Okay, now, but it really is better if you let it chill a little more. So we're gonna cover this with plastic wrap, and we're gonna let this chill. Overnight is absolutely, oh, I forgot that plastic wrap isn't gonna really stick to that. This plastic wrap is ideal, but 4 hours would be really, really nice. And of course, we're going to do this exact same thing with our vegetarian version of this. So this is the vegan. Remember that way, vegan's got penne. Now, where we have a big refrigerator downstairs that is not as full as the one up here. So, of course, it's nice and chill down there. So I'm going to put this, I'm going to have Wade put this downstairs. And we'll be back in a couple hours to eat both of our macaroni salads. A few hours at least. Okay, there's two things left to do. First thing is, of course, after you take your macaroni salad out of the refrigerator, after you've let it sit for the required time, give it a stir. Make sure everything's nicely mixed. If you find it's a lot of the dressing has been absorbed by the pasta, which is a good thing because it's going to make the pasta taste delicious. You can refresh it a little bit with a little bit of mayonnaise, a tablespoon or so. Mix it up well. I've never found I have to do that. It stays nice and moist. But anyway, so then the next thing is to taste it. Yep. And what do you want to taste first? The vegan with the vegan mayonnaise, or
the regular one near meat, so I'm gonna try it.
All right, now turn that mine plate that way.
The vegetarian one.
Yep. Well, vegetarian, we did use regular mayonnaise, and there is eggs in regular mayonnaise, but a lot of vegetarians do eat eggs.
Wow, that's delicious. That's really good.
That is a nice macaroni salad. If you have this, if you went to somebody's house for a cookout and they made this, or it's got a lovely tanginess from the vinegar and the dressing, nice bright veggies. Delicious, if I do say so myself.
Really good.
Of course, if you want to add cheese or diced ham, eggs, certainly welcome to. Make it your way. But this is a great recipe to start with. Everybody should have a good macaroni salad recipe. And salad with some water. And I mean, everything about the vegan one is the same, except that we use the vegan dressing. Interesting. No, I've never made. I don't think I've ever used vegan dressing, but delicious. Yeah.
It's a subtle difference, but
It's a small difference. Maybe in the creaminess of the dressing, but
yeah.
again, if I went someplace and somebody had this on their table, I wouldn't be disappointed with it. Delicious.
That's good.
Quite good.
Yep.
So, there you have it. My version of deli-style macaroni salad with a vegan twist to it. That's all I got to say.
Please hit that like button and subscribe. And check out cherryhillhomecooking.com. This recipe will be on there.
We got a really nice potato salad recipe in there too, so check that out as well.
Yep.
Ciao.
Right. Bye.
So good.
Yeah. Now the penne is a little different texture.
Well, they're different types of pasta, so. I mean, I like the chew with the penne. It's not that hard.